Today, in my hands, I have a step-by-step guide by Neville Goddard himself. He gave this to us through one of his books, and many of us didn't even read that book. And in today's video, we are deciphering that chapter that gives us all the answers that we need. Chapter 19, Essentials. The essential points in the successful use of the law of assumption are these. First, and above all, yearning, longing, intense burning desire. With all your heart, you must want to be different from what you are. Intense burning desire combined with intention to make good is the mainspring of action, the beginning of all successful ventures. In every great passion which achieves its objective, desire is concentrated and intentioned. You must first desire and then intend to succeed. As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O God. Psalm 42:1. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Matthew 5:6. Here the soul is interpreted as the sum total of all your believe, think, feel, and accept as true. In other words, your present level of awareness, God, I am, is the power of awareness, the source and fulfillment of all desire. Understood psychologically, I am an infinite series of levels of awareness, and I am what I am in accordance with where I am in the series. This quotation describes how your present level of awareness longs to transcend itself. Righteousness is the consciousness of already being what you want to be. So the first step here, Neville Goddard is telling you, you must know what you want. If you don't know what you want, then come next time. You must have a burning desire, a burning, intense desire for the thing that you want, not kind of want it, because sometimes most of you ask, oh, I want this, but do you really want it? If your answer is hesitant, like, I don't know, maybe, then you're not wanting it. You have to want it bad enough. You will have to want it as bad as you want to breathe. This is why all the motivational speakers are talking about that. You have to want the thing as bad as you want to breathe. You want to be successful. You want to be a billionaire. You want to be an athlete. You want to be an actor. You want to be famous. You want to be fit. Whatever it might be, you have to want it bad enough. You have to want it so bad and so intense to the point that you would do anything. You want this thing. And then you have to get into the second point. Get to the second point of that equation, which is cultivate physical immobility. Cultivate physical immobility. A physical incapacity, a drowsy numbness, pains my senses, as though of hemlock I had drunk. It is a state akin to sleep, but one in which you are still in control of the direction of your attention. You must learn to induce this state at will. So you must do it at will. This is why my meditation helps so much. And this is why in my book, I actually wrote about the alpha brainwave state and how you can actually reach that in maybe 2 minutes, maximum in 5 minutes. So make sure to check this out. But experience has taught me that it's more easily induced after a substantial meal or when you wake in the morning, feeling very lost to arise. Then you are naturally disposed to enter this state. When you wake up and right before going to bed, you are performing at alpha and theta brainwaves. So these are the doors to the subconscious. This is why Neville talked about it in Feeling is the Secret. He talked about before you go to bed, you are in this drowsy state. So take advantage of that. The value of physical immobility exposes itself in the accumulation of mental force, which absolute stillness brings with it. It increases your power of concentration. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Actually, Neville, in one of his lectures, secret VIP lectures, he used this mantra, like be still and know that I am God, to the people to induce an out-of-body experience. And it worked. So all of a sudden, they left their body and they became the room. Some of them became the clock. I believe that was Elmer O. Locker Jr. that talked about that. And you can actually induce out-of-body experiences in various ways. But here, Neville is talking about just being in that state so you can control your attention. Your body is immobilized, but your attention, you can control it. In fact, the greater energies of the mind seldom break forth, save when the body is stilled and the door of the senses closed to the objective world. The third and last thing to do is to experience in your imagination what you would experience in reality had you achieved your goal. Please listen carefully to this. The last thing to do is to experience in your imagination what you would experience in reality had you already achieved your goal. So it's not when I get hold of it, it's when you get it. You already have it. You got it. It's a fact. It's been there for a week, for a few days. How would you feel? How would you feel if you have everything you wanted for a few days right now, like maybe a month? Let's push it further. Maybe a month. You've been a billionaire for a month. How would you feel? How would a billionaire do? It's a completely different person than who you are. Probably making calls, probably dealing with businesses, probably like maybe on the beach, happy and everything, but at the same time, he's consciously aware of the finances that he has to do. So if you guys like ask me how to win the lotto, are you ready to win the lotto? Do you imagine yourself being that person that got all these millions? Do you know how to be financially literate? How to be financially like conscious of doing things? You don't. You have to be that person. So imagine being that person. You imagine being that person. How would you feel if you are that person? How would you feel? Not how this thing will make you feel. How would you, as a person, as a whole, would feel? Thankfulness, gratefulness, at the same time being conscious of how you spend that money, at the same time knowing that you can make more and more. All these things, you have to conjure up the feeling. Because you right now versus you, who is a billionaire, for example, are completely different persons. You are one right now that is in a state of consciousness, and the person you want to be, and you are trying to conjure up the feeling of being it, is a completely different person. So think about that. Think about that. Meditate on it. You must gain it in imagination first, for imagination is the very door to the reality of that which you seek. But use imagination masterfully, and not as onlooker thinking of the end, but as a partaker thinking from the end. You are thinking from it, not of it. You are in the scene, you are in the movie, you are not watching a movie, you are an actor in the movie. If you are an actor in a movie, how would you feel? How would you act? How would you do this and that? How would you deal with your parents? How would you deal with your partner? How would you deal with your children? How would you deal with yourself? These are questions that you can ask yourself, and the answers will arise in form of images, auditory imagination, whatever it might be, but you will get something in your brain, and you will actually feel like it implies that it's already done. Imagine that you possess a quality or something you desire, which hitherto has not been yours. Surrender yourself completely to this feeling until your whole being is possessed by it. This state differs from a reverie in this respect. It is the result of a controlled imagination and a steadied, concentrated attention, whereas reverie is a result of an uncontrolled imagination, usually just a daydream. So, you do it correctly by having a focused attention, a controlled attention, and you are imagining willingly on the other side. It's a reverie if you are just daydream. You're not controlling your attention. You're just going everywhere all the time. You have to have a focused, controlled attention with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The controlled state, a minimum of effort, suffices to keep your consciousness filled with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The physical and mental immobility of this state is a powerful aid to voluntary attention and major factor of minimum effort. The application of these 3 points: desire, physical immobility, the assumption of the wish already fulfilled, is the way to at one mint or union with your objective. The first point is thinking of the end with intention to realize it. The third point is thinking from the end with the feeling of accomplishment. The secret of thinking from the end is to enjoy being it. This is why I told you, stop trying to manifest and start being it. Imagine, when you close your eyes and you use any form of imagination, all the techniques are available everywhere. Even in my book, I gathered it and just made it an ebook. Whatever technique you use, it doesn't matter. All I want you to do when you use any technique, when you close your eyes, I want you to forget the 3D reality. Go within with the inner man and identify yourself with the inner man who is experiencing having the thing that you want. Be with that inner man. That inner man is capable of doing everything. Just identify yourself with the inner man and let go. Have faith that it is done. The minute you make it pleasurable and imagine that you are it, you are thinking from the end. One of the most prevalent misunderstandings is that this law works only for those having a devout or a religious objective. That is a fallacy. It works for everybody. It's been working your whole life. You weren't just aware of it. Now you are. So make conscious control. Take conscious control of it right now and change your life for the better. It works just as impersonally as the law of electricity works. It can be used for greedy, selfish purposes, as well as noble ones. But it should always be borne in mind that ignoble thoughts and actions inevitably result in unhappy consequences. There is a golden rule that was made by many great teachers, including Neville. This is the golden rule. Do to others what you would like to be done unto you. So don't imagine anything bad for anyone. Just imagine them lovely, happy, because karma is real and karma is So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, subscribe to the channel, like the video to reach more people. Tell me down below in the comments, what do you want to see next? Check the ebook in the description box, and until the next video, I will see you soon.